Welcome to Chinese Storytime Fun. Today, we're going to talk about the Chinese fairy tales and legends Emperor Yu tames the flood. Long ago, in the ancient times of Chinese mythology, a great disaster befell the land. Torrential rains poured from the heavens, and rivers burst their banks, flooding vast swathes of the kingdom. The relentless waters swallowed homes, fields, and entire villages. People fled to higher grounds, leaving behind their belongings and livelihoods. The once fertile lands were now vast, desolate lakes. Hunger and disease spread, and despair took hold of the hearts of the people. Amid this chaos, the wise and revered Yellow Emperor, Huangdi, knew that something had to be done. He summoned his most trusted advisors and ministers to his court. As they gathered, the air was thick with the weight of the crisis at hand. Huangdi, with a grave expression, addressed his council. "Esteemed advisors, our people suffer greatly. The floods have ravaged our lands, and despair grips the hearts of all. We must find a way to control these relentless waters and restore peace and prosperity to our kingdom. I call upon you to suggest a plan and identify a worthy individual to lead this monumental task." The room fell silent as the advisors pondered the magnitude of the challenge. They understood that this was no ordinary task. It required a leader of immense skill, wisdom, and perseverance. The decision made here would determine the fate of their land and people. With the weight of the nation on their shoulders, the council set out to find a hero who could rise to the challenge and tame the ferocious floods. In response to Huangdi's call for action, the council appointed Gun, a man of considerable renown, to lead the effort to control the floods. Gun was known for his bold ideas and unwavering determination. With great confidence, he devised a plan to halt the relentless waters. His method was straightforward. He would build massive dikes and dams to block the floodwaters, containing them within boundaries. Gun and his team of workers set out to implement this plan. They labored day and night, constructing enormous barriers to hold back the rivers. For a while, it seemed that their efforts might succeed. The waters were temporarily held at bay, and hope began to flicker in the hearts of the people. However, nature proved to be a formidable adversary. The rains continued to pour, and the rivers, with their boundless energy, soon overwhelmed Gun's barriers. The dams cracked and crumbled under the immense pressure, releasing torrents of water that surged with even greater ferocity. The floods returned with a vengeance, engulfing the land more violently than before. Homes that had been rebuilt were once again destroyed, and the suffering of the people intensified. Gun's failure was a harsh blow to the kingdom. The people, who had briefly glimpsed a future without floods, now found themselves in deeper despair. Fields were ruined, livestock drowned, and disease spread rapidly. The cries of the desperate filled the air, and it seemed as if hope had been lost. Huangdi, deeply troubled by Gun's failure, realized that a new approach was needed. Blocking the waters was not the answer. The solution required a deeper understanding of nature's forces and a more innovative strategy. The emperor and his advisors returned to their deliberations, knowing that the fate of their civilization depended on finding the right person to tackle this immense challenge. In the aftermath of Gun's failure, the situation grew increasingly dire. Recognizing the need for a new leader, the Yellow Emperor Huangdi made a difficult decision. He relieved Gun of his duties and appointed Gun's son, Yu, to take on the monumental task of controlling the floods. Yu, known for his wisdom and ingenuity, accepted the responsibility with a solemn heart. Upon his appointment, Yu stood before the emperor and the assembled council. He bowed deeply, showing his respect and acknowledging the gravity of the situation. I, you, son of Gun, vow to dedicate my life to ending this suffering. I will not rest until the floods are tamed and peace is restored to our land. Yu's words were filled with determination, and his eyes shone with an unyielding resolve. He knew that this task would demand not only innovative solutions but also unwavering perseverance. Unlike his father, Yu understood that working against nature was futile. Instead, he sought to work with it, to find a harmonious balance that would allow the waters to flow freely without causing destruction. Yu began by studying the land, the rivers, and the patterns of rainfall. He traveled extensively, observing how the water moved and where it caused the most damage. He listened to the stories of the people who had lived through the floods, gaining insights from their experiences and wisdom. Yu's approach was meticulous and patient, laying the groundwork for a comprehensive plan that would address the root causes of the flooding. With his strategy in place, Yu gathered a team of skilled workers and engineers. He shared his vision with them, inspiring them with his commitment and passion. Together, they embarked on the arduous journey of controlling the floods. Yu's leadership was marked by his tireless energy and hands-on involvement. He worked alongside his team, sharing in their labor and hardships. Yu's determination was tested time and again. The challenges were immense, and progress was slow. Yet, he never wavered. His unbreakable spirit and steadfast commitment to his mission earned him the respect and admiration of all who worked with him. The people, who had once been hopeless, began to see a glimmer of hope in Yu's unwavering dedication. As Yu forged ahead with his plan, he knew that success would not come easily. But his resolve remained firm, driven by his deep sense of duty to his people and his unwavering belief that together, they could overcome the devastating floods and reclaim their land. Yu's commitment to controlling the floods was unwavering, and his dedication soon became legendary. As he traveled across the vast kingdom, surveying the land and directing the construction of water channels, he passed by his own home multiple times. Each time, he resisted the urge to stop and see his family, driven by his singular focus on the monumental task at hand. The people began to speak of Yu's extraordinary dedication, saying, "You passed his home thrice and did not enter." This phrase became a symbol of his selfless devotion to his mission. Yu's approach to flood control was revolutionary. Unlike his father, Gun, who had attempted to block the waters, Yu believed in working with nature rather than against it. He abandoned the method of constructing barriers and instead adopted a strategy of diversion and guidance. Yu and his team set about digging channels and canals to redirect the floodwaters into rivers and ultimately into the sea. This method not only alleviated the immediate flooding but also created a network of waterways that enhanced agriculture and transportation. One of Yu's key innovations was the creation of levees and spillways to manage the water flow. These structures allowed excess water to be safely channeled away from populated areas and farmland, reducing the risk of catastrophic floods. Yu's designs were both practical and sustainable, ensuring that the solutions would last for generations. The journey was fraught with challenges. The natural landscape presented formidable obstacles, towering mountains, dense forests, and vast plains that were often swept by fierce storms. Yu and his team faced torrential rains, powerful winds, and treacherous terrain. Yet, with each challenge, Yu's determination only grew stronger. He led his team by example, working tirelessly alongside them, whether it was under the scorching sun or in the midst of a thunderstorm. There were times when morale dipped and exhaustion threatened to overtake the workers. But Yu's unwavering spirit and his vision of a flood-free land inspired his team to push forward. He shared stories of hope and resilience, reminding them of the lives they were saving and the future they were building. Yu's leadership was characterized by empathy and encouragement, fostering a sense of unity and purpose among his followers. One particularly daunting task was the excavation of a massive canal through a mountain range to connect two major rivers. The work was grueling and dangerous, but Yu's strategic planning and the collective effort of his team eventually saw the canal completed. This monumental achievement not only mitigated the flooding in that region but also became a vital waterway for trade and travel. As the years passed, Yu's innovative methods began to bear fruit. The floodwaters receded, crops flourished, and the people could once again live without the constant fear of inundation. Yu's success in controlling the floods transformed the landscape and brought prosperity back to the kingdom. His efforts were not just a triumph of engineering but also a testament to the power of perseverance, ingenuity, and selfless dedication. After 13 grueling years of relentless effort, Yu's mission to control the floods finally met with success. The rivers flowed smoothly through the newly constructed channels, canals, and spillways, and the once devastating floods became a thing of the past. The waters, which had caused such widespread destruction, were now harnessed and redirected, bringing life and prosperity to the land. The kingdom flourished as crops grew abundantly, and the people no longer lived in fear of nature's wrath. Yu's achievement was monumental. His innovative approach and unwavering determination had transformed the landscape and restored peace to the kingdom. The people, who had witnessed his dedication and tireless efforts, held him in the highest regard. They bestowed upon him the title Yu the Great, or Yu Wang, in recognition of his extraordinary contributions. Yu's name became synonymous with perseverance, wisdom, and selflessness. Yu's success in controlling the floods went beyond immediate relief and stability. It laid the groundwork for future generations in the field of hydraulic engineering. His methods of using channels and diversion to manage water flow became a model for subsequent water management projects. Yu's work demonstrated the importance of understanding and working with natural forces rather than attempting to overpower them. The impact of Yu's accomplishments extended deeply into Chinese culture and history. His story of dedication and triumph became a cornerstone of Chinese mythology, symbolizing the virtues of resilience and ingenuity. Yu the Great was celebrated not only as a hero of his time but also as a foundational figure whose contributions shaped the development of Chinese civilization. The legacy of Yu's flood control efforts influenced the construction of irrigation systems, dams, and canals in later periods. His work ensured that the land could support a growing population and a thriving agricultural economy. The principles he established continued to guide water management practices for centuries, making him an enduring figure in the annals of Chinese history. Yu's life and achievements served as an inspiration for countless generations. His story was told and retold, reminding people of the power of human determination and the importance of working in harmony with nature. The tale of Yu the Great became more than just a myth. It became a lesson in leadership, innovation, and the enduring spirit of humanity. In the end, Yu's triumph was not just over the floods but over the challenges that tested his resolve. His legacy lived on, a testament to the profound impact one individual can have on the course of history. Yu the Great's contributions to flood control and his example of tireless dedication left an indelible mark on Chinese culture, embodying the spirit of perseverance and the pursuit of the common good.